What is up, my dudes? It is Alec Lindstrom, center of the Dallas Cowboys, and now the Stories, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast is coming at you in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
All right, so let's move on.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on to Five Faces. Now, Five Faces is something Jim and I came up with a long, long time ago to describe the 5 people we would punch in the face, given the opportunity and no negative repercussions.
I don't even care if there's negative repercussions.
Yeah, you're the one that had a problem with the Snoop Dogg intro. You think we're going to get arrested over it. Anytime the list changes for any reason, you folks, anytime this list changes for any reason, you folks will be the first to know. So, Bert, do you have your number 5?
So my number 5 is going to be Jim Harbaugh. And it's not because he's the Michigan coach. I just hate listening to his press conferences. He's an idiot. Hate hearing him talk. Drives me up the wall.
Okay. And Jim, you're number 5. Oh, keep going, Bert.
Well, I mean, he's constantly, when he's talking, he's right. He talks like he's got a hinge at the back of his head.
Like he's Canadian on the South Park movie.
Right.
Is there a Muppets character that was like that?
Beaker.
Isn't that all
Beaker.
the Muppets characters?
Oh, yeah. Could be, right?
Okay, so Jim, what's your number 5?
My number 5 currently is Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
The biggest loudmouth bandwagon fan. He never adds any substance to any subject.
Okay.
Ever.
So let me throw something at you, right? We've got to pontificate about how we're going to be doing these 12 teams. If we don't pontificate, that's
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get so loud there, but that's
That was
Stephen A. Smith.
Exactly my point. Yes, that's my number 5. Who you got?
Okay. So my number 5 is it's not a person because I've done a lot of research and I couldn't find the person's name.
Just
But
say who your number 5
Whoever the motherfucker that invented the flat-headed screw, that guy pisses me off. Why would you ever invent something so stupid as the flat-headed screw?
Why are you using a flat-headed screw for anything?
Well, because you have to use flat-headed screws for things like switch plate covers. There are a lot of things that you have to use these flat-headed screws for, and they all suck, every single one of them.
Fair enough. I would agree with that.
All right. So, Bert, number 4.
Grayson Allen of the Bucks.
Good one.
Dirty. He is dirty. I hate seeing him play. He doesn't have a game. He's just the white kid that hustles at the gym and has no real skill set. So he's going to knock you down. He's going to push into you, and for no good reason other than I was playing good defense. No, you undercut a kid. I hate Grayson Allen.
I agree. My number 4, I don't know his name, and it's been several years, so I don't really remember all the circumstances. But there was a jockey from the, I think it was the Kentucky Derby, maybe, I don't know, one of the derbies, who protested the win from, I think, 4th place.
Right.
So he moved up to 3rd place when they disqualified the guy that won. That guy is my number 4. Punch him in his little short jockey face right off the hill.
His little short jockey face.
Who's your number 4, Keith?
My number 4 is NASCAR driver Joey Logano.
He's only 4.
He's only 4.
Okay.
He drives like a douchebag. He drives the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Penske Racing. He drives like a douchebag, and anytime any other drivers drive anywhere near that like him, he cries and moans and talks shit about him on TV. I hate Joey Logano. Fuck that guy. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go back to basketball for number 3. One of my beloved Lakers, Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly and his dad, Lance Stevenson, who is essentially the same player. Just dirty, again, shoving people in the back, just trying to get under their skin, trying to do the whole Dennis Rodman thing without the skill set. When you're shooting 23% from the field, how do you get license to chuck up a 3 at any time? And then you go and you push like DeAndre Ayton in the back or Chris Paul in the back. It's just, I don't like dirty players in basketball. I don't.
Gotcha. My number 3 is Matt Canada, offensive coordinator, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Matt Canada. Could you tell us why you picked Matt Canada at number 3?
My 7th grade football coach had, I think we had 12, let's just call it 12 plays. That was double the amount of plays that Matt Canada runs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think
I've been to an East Knox game and they run 4 plays.
Not anymore, but yes, they, he's setting NFL records for jet sweeps and end arounds called during the season. I don't know how he still has a job. No idea. You bench Mitch Trubisky and this guy still has a job as a crying shame. That's it. Matt Canada, number 3. Keith.
Okay. My number 3, and this one you may not see coming. Dak Prescott.
Oh,
I just hate this guy's face. I don't know why. It's like
something about his face.
It's something about his face. It's like in Step Brothers. I just want to punch it. Like, he looks like how I feel Fritos smell.
Okay.
Like, he looks like a fucking thumb, right?
Like,
he does. He looks like a thumb. I want to see him get punched in the face on TV. Like, just for some reason, I would pay is like pay-per-view money to see.
This is not who you want to see get punched. This is who you want.
I do want to punch him, but I think I can't punch him. So I would settle for watching someone else punch him.
Okay. This is my favorite segment so far.
Bert, number 2.
Number 2, I have Skip Bayless. No takes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably the only person in media with worse sports takes than myself, right? Just
Stephen A.
Stephen A has a point every once in a while. Skip Bayless just drones on. He never seems to get to the damn point.
True.
It's always these pointed statements that you're like, okay, who is he talking about again? You forget who he was talking about. LeBron's getting old. He's not the same LeBron as he used to be. He's not doing what he used to do.
Well, no shit. He's getting
38.
older.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing the same thing I did at 35.
I call those no hot take, right? It's not a hot take. It's just a take.
Right.
Water's wet. It's been wet for a while. Why is it wet? Is it ever going to get dry?
So, Jim, number 2.
Number 2. All right. This is non-sports. And this is politics aside. Don Lemon from CNN is the most arrogant, smart ass, condescending. That means when you talk down to people, guy that I have ever seen on television. Especially when his glasses are on. Like when he puts the glasses on, it gets even worse. Like
even worse.
I would not get tired of punching him in the face. Don Lemon is my number 2.
My number 2, and it's funny, we obviously didn't rehearse this. My number 2 is Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, wow.
He is the most irritating sports personality to ever exist. Right? Listening to him with his hot takes on football makes me want to rip my ears off and then rub salt in my ear wounds.
But I think we have Steven. He's calling in, isn't he? Bert is channeling his.
You want to punch me in my ears drumus, and I don't know why. My audio efficiency earrings.
So
I was put on the spot. That's all I had. All you do is talk loud and pretend like you're saying something big, right? He uses words wrong all the time, and I'm like, no. Let me alliterate what I was about to say. You mean articulate?
He just gets louder when he doesn't know what to say.
right.
Yeah.
What did that ref that we used to play basketball with? He'd talk about you remember we played basketball with him. He was about 5'4" and he'd post me up.
You talking to me?
No, yeah, I'm talking to both of you. We played basketball with
Yeah.
him up at the middle school.
Oh, the old
Yeah.
guy.
Dude
the old guy?
the old guy, he was like 100 years old, and he'd post me up.
Keith. The guy is been a referee of youth sports in this
Since
area
youth sports were invented.
30 years. And he's just out there in his 70s trying to get some exercise, stay healthy, and Keith is trying to drop haymakers on him from behind because he's posting him up in a casual pickup game at the middle school.
Listen, I drove an hour and 15 minutes. There was nothing casual about that pickup game.
You step on that court, man, woman, child, you better watch your back with Keith.
Well, at least I wasn't like Bert. Bert brought his shoes still in the box and his goggles and his matching shorts.
I don't remember maybe I did wear goggles. I don't know.
Like, you wore goggles. You definitely wore goggles.
All right.
So, okay, so Bert, your top 5 right now. Number 5, Jim Harbaugh. Number 4, Grayson Allen. Number 3, Pat Beverly. Number 2, Skip Bayless. Who is your number 1?
I would love to punch right in his awful face tan, Kirk Herbstreit. Every time he said 6'6", 220. Oh. Every time he fawned over Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago, it just grossed me out. If I were Trevor Lawrence and he walked in the locker room, I would put on an extra pair of pants. I would be so nervous about Kirk Herbstreit. It was disgusting how many every game 6'6", 220. And I'm sure that they had to replace the microphone at halftime at Clemson games. I'm sure it was drooled all over, played buzzing and stuff. But that's my number 1. And to be honest with you, it's not the fact that he's not. You'd expect him to be an Ohio State homer because he played at Ohio State. He's not. That's fine. I get it. Be objective, right? You're in broadcasting. Be objective. But he picks a player every year that just has to feel uncomfortable every time he gets on the field.
He's the new Brett Musburger.
Yeah.
I looking at the rest of your list, I am shocked.
I am too.
Herbie's number 1. I
thought it was going to be another NBA player I've never heard of.
All right, Jim, you got Stephen A. Smith, the Kentucky Derby jockey that I couldn't find his name.
Yeah.
Matt Canada, Don Lemon. Who is number 1?
This will not come as a shock to you, Keith.
Not at all.
I wake up in the morning wanting to hit him, and I go to sleep wanting to hit him. James Franklin, Penn State head coach.
Tell me everything you really feel about James Franklin, the Penn State head coach.
We don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time. Could you give me a soliloquy before the next game?
Highly overrated. He's living off beating Ohio State 6 years ago.
That one time, maybe it was 5 years ago, has never won a big game ever other than Ohio State 6 years ago. Didn't he? That was the year. Was that,
it was on a blocked field goal.
Wait, James Franklin wasn't the one that was there when, Fickle was the coach though, right?
No.
That was before him. Okay.
He is arrogant. He's a prick. You can Google how he feels about women. He's made it very clear in several different interviews. I would sock him right in his stupid face. And once again, bonus if he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, knock his glasses off like I did Kyle that one time with a football.
Right. James Franklin, solid number one.
All right.
Solid.
So my top 5 is the guy that invented the flathead screw at 5, 4, Joey Logano, 3, Dak Prescott, the human Frito, 2, Stephen A. Smith. Number 1, this will come as no shock to you.
Yeah.
My number 1 is Joey Logano once again.
Oh,
I can't emphasize enough how bad I want to run up to his stupid face and just punch it. Just punch him right in the face. Like there was one year they had a race at Las Vegas where he and Kyle Busch got in a wreck. And I said Kyle Busch was living my dream because he drove a race car all day and then he punched Joey Logano in the face on pit road afterwards. So
I feel like you only chose him twice because you hate him so much and you had other people to get to. You didn't have enough time to say all you wanted to say about him. So you put him on there twice so you could continue your first thought about him.
We didn't have any real tight rules on this, but because I didn't feel like putting Joey Logano on it 3 times would have been fair. So I only put him on there twice, once at first, because he would be absolutely my first. But after I punch those other guys, I would want to run up and punch him again.
How many championships he won now? 2?
Ooh, God. 1 for each time I want to punch him in the face.
2 and no signs of slowing down.
Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait. So that is 5 faces. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to sports talk, which is going to include fantasy sports. How'd you guys' fantasy teams do this week?
I lost after reeling off. I think it was 5 straight wins. I finally took an L.
Yeah. See, I gave up on my fantasy team. Like gave up on the whole season.
Yeah.
And in the 3 weeks since I gave up on my fantasy team, I've had the 3 highest points totals of my entire season.
Right.
Thanks to Josh Jacobs, mostly putting up 50 points for me. But yeah, I've won 3 straight games now. So I'm going to roll into the playoffs with none of my players. And I've got a whole bunch of draft picks for next year. It better late than never, right?
Yeah. Keith's giving up on his team on a
3-game winning streak
on
now.
a 3-game heater after he fire sailed his team.
Right.
I lost. Dr. Dean beat me like he should have.
Shocker.
After I reeled off 3 straight wins.
Dr. Dean had his Burt bye this week.
Dean was on a little bit of skid till he played Burt this week.
Most people are. Justin actually was my first win, and I was like, "How did you lose on your week off?" I mean, that's
So I was like, I was calling around. I was calling everybody. I was like, I need 2 players. I need a quarterback and I need a wide receiver, and I'm gonna make a run. And nobody wanted to give me one, so I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I rolled into my Burt week. I rolled into my Burt week thinking, you know what? I can just take it easy. I've got players. I'm good. And I got absolutely throat punched by Burt on my bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I made the decision. I called Jim Sunday night. I was like, I'm letting everybody go. I'm going to fire everybody. Anybody. So I traded everybody off. I was trading people that I hadn't gotten yet. Like I had to make trades to get additional trades. And I have not lost a game since.
Yeah. Shows that you have no idea what the hell you're doing.
I don't. I'm in 2nd place in the league right now. And I have following a fire sale.
While you were trying to sabotage your team.
Right. Like what was that? What was the Major League?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Great movie.
Right. All right.
Give him the heater.
So conference championship games. We're going to go against the spread later, but who do we think wins these games? We've got TCU. Let's see, I got to go in and get it real quick.
TCU, Kansas State.
Okay, so TCU,
Okay.
Kansas State. Anybody think TCU doesn't win this game?
I think it'll be closer than advertised. I don't think it'll be a blowout. But I do think TCU wins it.
TCU wins this game.
Yeah, same. USC, Utah.
Ooh. It's going to be within one touchdown.
Spread on it is 2.5.
Whoa.
Tight game. Very tight game.
Who's got the
USC 2.5 over?
plus 2.5?
No, minus 2.5. So they're 2.5 point favorites.
Right. Well, as an Ohio State fan, I want to say Utah because that's the path for Ohio State to get in. But I think USC wins this game.
I think so. I agree. USC, they've got something to play for, right? They've got an opportunity that I think they're going to make it based on the fact that they've got so much to lose. If they make that, they make the play. Plus, I don't think we should discount the fact that these conferences, if their team gets in, they get what, $20 million for the conference. You don't think the commissioner's talking to the officials going, hey, take a little easy on USC, take a little easy on TCU.
Yeah.
Purdue, don't worry about it. We got you.
I think Utah definitely makes a game out of it. But I think that ultimately, I think USC does win.
What you got next?
Clemson, UNC. Clemson 7.5 point favorites.
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson wins pretty easily.
Right, I agree with that. Michigan 17 point favorites over Purdue.
It's gonna be closer to 13 points, but it's gonna be Michigan over Purdue.
Michigan over Purdue.
Purdue shocks the world and takes down Michigan.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first. On the triple spot or triple S pod. How are we saying it?
Yeah, we've got to know what it is. It's the Triple S podcast.
Gotcha. Triple S podcast.
Right. So how pissed off are you going to be if Purdue shocks the world and Michigan still gets into the playoff ahead of Ohio State? How mad would that make you?
Oh, yeah. That'd be, well, I would be mad, but they are playing in the extra game, in the championship game.
Right.
So, I mean, I would be mad, but I could understand why.
And then Georgia, LSU. Georgia 17.5 point favorites over LSU.
This one's interesting to me. Georgia's not been tested this year. I don't recall.
The Tennessee game. They had the Tennessee game, and they stomped Tennessee.
Did they have Hooker in that game?
Yeah, that was before Hendon Hooker got hurt. Hendon Hooker got hurt against South Carolina.
Oh yeah, that was just last week. Right. Okay. Right. I think Georgia wins, but I think this is going to be a little bit more than people are expecting out of LSU.
The thing is that Georgia doesn't have to win to get in. They're in.
Right.
As long as they don't die in a bus crash, they're in.
Yeah.
So do they come out and play their best game? I don't think it's 17-point victory.
Right.
They don't have to play their best game. And if they lose, they know that they're in if they lose. My question is, does the SEC have a second team that could sneak in if Georgia loses?
It would only be Alabama. And
they're 6. They're not jumping Ohio State.
They're not going to jump Ohio State in an off week.
Or USC or.
Well, Georgia, if USC and TCU both lose, then there's an argument for Ohio State, Alabama. I we're going to go back to the thing from earlier. I don't think Alabama should even be in a conversation when they lost 2 games.
When you lose 2 games and you don't get to play in your championship game,
Right.
you're out in this format.
Right. I think losses by by USC and TCU, I think losses by both of those teams, they'd have to be pretty substantial losses by both of them. Puts both of them in. Or not, I'm sorry, doesn't put both of them in. I think it gives the idea for both of them.
So if we were going non-chalk, who's the most likely to get beat in their conference title game?
Who's most likely to get beat in their conference title game?
That's not that lower gets beat by the lower seed.
USC. I think Utah makes this more interesting. I think USC makes it more interesting.
So if USC loses, top 4 Ohio State is 4th, and they would play Georgia.
Right.
As a Buckeye fan, is that what you want?
I don't know.
We want the opportunity, right? We always want the opportunity. What's Georgia's running game like? Are they a heavy run or heavy pass?
They're pretty balanced. I've not excuse me watched Georgia a lot, but they have to be balanced. I would think. It's not a real great take, but so I haven't watched them enough to know. But you rattle off, you're the defending champs and you're undefeated. I would imagine they've got a pretty balanced offense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the Heisman? Who's gonna be in New York and who's gonna win the Heisman?
Who's going to be there?
Who do you think is going to be the guys in New York?
CJ will be there. Marvin Harrison Jr. has an outside chance of being there in the room. Bryce Young, of course, from Alabama.
Corum from Michigan.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, USC.
Yeah, it's become a quarterback award. So
yeah, so I mean, CJ struggling against Michigan. I think Caleb Williams is the guy to beat there.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When did they announce? And has the voting went through?
They're currently voting. I think it's next Saturday.
After the championship games. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a week from Saturday.
I think CJ's third. Caleb's first. Second is probably Bryce.
No,
I don't even think Bryce Young. I don't even think Bryce Young gets invited.
Right.
So we'll move on. We're going to move on to unpopular opinions. So, Jim, what's your unpopular opinion?
Soccer is by far the worst professional sport there is.
What do you think, Bert?
Leaps and bounds.
Now, I disagree. When you're there,
go ahead, Bert.
When you're there live, it's a blast to watch, and like with most sports, right? You get to be near the field, you get to be with the energy of the fans. It's a lot of fun. Watching on TV, I still enjoy watching it on TV. I don't know.
The reason you enjoy being there is because there's so much downtime, because there's very little actual chance of scoring a goal, that the crowd has to entertain themselves with chants and noisemakers and getting completely shit
the vuvuzela.
Yes, because there is nothing else to do. You might as well be watching tennis while you go like this and watch the ball go back and forth. Oh, he's 20 yards from the goal. Oh, it went out of bounds.
Okay. So we've been watching a lot of soccer. With the World Cup, we've been watching a lot of soccer around. And I've come up with 5 ways. Like I've emailed FIFA, see what they think. 5 changes to make soccer a better sport. Okay.
Rattle them off.
First-
Let's go. Rapid
First-
fire.
First thing is there's too many players. There's way too many guys out there. Let's knock it down to like 5 guys, 6 guys, 5 or 6 guys, right?
So you
But
can have
with-
less of a chance of scoring.
Well, 5 or 6 guys. So
That's less
let's-
defensive players.
Right. A
An
little
awful-
more. So, but I think with 5 guys, 5 or 6 guys, the field
You
is
get a good
way
burger.
it's fucking enormous. The field's huge. So let's make the field smaller.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, right now, they only get so many times that they can switch out. And once they switch out, they're done. They're not allowed to come back in.
The hell
Let
does
them
it matter? I didn't know that. You can only switch out.
You can only switch out 5 players. And once they come out of the game, they can't go back in.
Who gives a shit?
Like
Right.
baseball?
Right. So let's let them switch as much as they want. Right. Let's let them switch all that they want. But you, like you said, you didn't say, let's make the goal smaller. Right. Let's
Smaller?
make the goal smaller.
You need to make it twice as big. They don't score now.
Well, okay, we're making the field smaller. Let's make the goal smaller.
Bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one, stick with me on this. Fucking ice everywhere. Okay.
I like
Oh,
it.
you
I
know
like
what?
it. Yeah.
Can I add to this?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about ice skates and pads?
Okay. Yeah.
And instead of a soccer ball, a hard plastic or whatever.
Let's call it a puck.
a
He said
puck.
hard.
Yes. Puck. Oh, and no more feet kicking it. You got to use a stick.
Got to use this.
Got to use a stick.
All right.
Like an L-shaped stick.
I have a feeling that the racial dynamic would change quite a bit, though. If you,
Might not have as many Brazilian teams.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe not. All right. So, Bert, what's your unpopular opinion?
unpopular opinion, if the WNBA didn't have a season, only 30% of the population would know. And I think currently only 30% of the population knows that there's a WNBA out there. I would probably replace,
real quick,
you know, the WNBA.
When you say WNBA, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I would replace the floor with ice and
When you say
or lava,
30%,
the floor is lava.
right. So
say 30%, are you meaning you're doubling what's actual
yeah,
knows about it? It's really 50.
There are dozens of people at every WNBA game.
right. And there's always those memes out there. You know, LeBron James makes $55 million a year. Why does Brittany Griner only make, you know,
$7 an hour?
because until Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia, I never heard of her before.
Oh, I knew about her when she played at Baylor. You know, she was 6'9",
No idea.
No.
and you know, she was dunking in women's college athletics, which is pretty much unheard of.
Right. She could have played volleyball and been more popular than she was in the NBA, probably.
Probably made more money over her career as well. Professional volleyball is a little bit more lucrative, but
Real quick, I was today years old when I found out there was professional volleyball. I didn't know that was a thing.
oh yeah, you've never watched beach volleyball?
No, did you not hear what I just said, Bert? I have never
Yeah.
heard of professional volleyball.
Well, I mean, look up women's professional beach volleyball and then wonder where it's been all of your life. It's you get to go to a sporting event. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll say we'll just we'll table that for another discussion.
Yep.
So
That'll be the Triple S pod after dark.
The only pod,
Right.
only pods. That's it.
So my unpopular opinion is I don't think you should have to show your Walmart receipt when you do self-checkout at Walmart.
Right.
I got a problem. So they don't want to pay somebody to do this job. So I'm going to do it for free, right? They didn't train me how to do it. But they want to audit my fucking work when it's time for me to walk out of the store. No. If you want to trust me to do the job unpaid and untrained, you need to trust that I'm doing it right. If you want to have someone trained to do it, then hire somebody. I'm not showing you my receipt. I'll waive my receipt, but I'm not stopping.
And you know what? When they do that, I'm like, hey, I was employee of the month last month. All right. I was fastest scanner out there. Yeah, I missed about 15 items, but that's fine.
Keith, you should not be allowed to self checkout anyway, because I know that your philosophy is completely polar opposite of mine.
Well, I hate
And
dealing
you
with
should be
people at all.
tackled. You should be tackled and arrested for what you try to do at a self checkout. When people are trying to grab a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread and hit the self checkout, and there's people like you with 2 cartfuls
2 carts full, like
in
completely full.
self checkout, and then get into a brouhaha with the old man trying to check your receipt as you leave, you should be banned from self checkout.
I went to Kroger one time and I had text Jim about it, that I had spent like $319 at self checkout at Walmart and nothing was over $8.
Yeah.
Infuriating. I'm getting pissed off just thinking about it.
All right. So go ahead.
I could see it now. He's walking out and sir, can I see your receipt? What, why? Wait, hold on. Can I, you're Rusty, right? I can call you Rusty. And he's got his arm around him. And he's like, Rusty, I've got my receipt. I've self-checked out. I'm a good employee. Maybe I missed something. But you're calling the guy Rusty, and you don't have any clue what his name is. It's really Ted.
Right. Well, the thing is what I do is I throw a no thank you at him. They're like, can I see your receipt? No, thank you.
And you're officiating his daughter's wedding this Saturday. That's
what Walmart do you go to? Because I'm going to go there and be the self-checkout monitor when you're heading there, and I'm going to turn you at, nope, sir, you got to go to a regular checkout. Too many items. You're out of here. Out of here.
All right. So what we got now, we got Bet the House. So in Bet the House, Jim, Bert, and I are going to make predictions on this week. It's going to be 8 games for the upcoming weekend. Based on the spread, we're going to pick the winners. So we were talking about them earlier. Let's go.
Games.
What's that?
Say 8 games?
8 games. We're going to do the 5 conference championship games,
gotcha.
and then the 3 NFL games. So let me get something to write on. We've got USC.
We already did the conference championship games.
Right, but we didn't bet them against the spread.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
So Jim, USC -2.5.
Give them the points. Give Utah the points.
You're going to take Utah.
Take US.
Wait.
Excuse me. USC.
Okay, so you're going to take USC.
I'm still taking USC, even giving the points. Yes.
USC by a field goal. And, I still believe USC is going to win it, but it's be tight.
I'm going to take the points. Give me Utah with the points. I don't know that they win the game, but give me Utah with the points.
Are you writing down who's picking?
I'm writing it down. I got it.
Gotcha.
So TCU 2.5.
Plus -2.5.
-2.5. Kansas State.
I'm still gonna give up the points and take TCU. Yeah.
TCU by a touchdown. They'll beat the spread.
And I'm taking TCU on that as well. Georgia 17.5 LSU.
Way too many.
Too many points.
Give me the points, LSU.
Give you the points in LSU. Bert?
Yeah.
I'm taking the points as well. Michigan -17.5 against Purdue.
Same. Give me the points. 17.5 points.
I'm going to say Michigan covers the spread. Harbaugh wants to make a statement.
Yeah,
Shouldn't, but he does.
I'm with Michigan as well. And then Clemson -7.5 USC. Or I'm sorry, UNC.
North Carolina. I'll give up the points. Give me Clemson. I'll give North Carolina that. I think it'll be a 10-point game.
10-point game.
Clemson wins, but Carolina it's closer than that.
Yep. And I'm going to also go UNC. I'm going to say Carolina covers that spread. And then the other games we were going to do Pittsburgh -1 with the Falcons. So Pittsburgh favored by a point against the Falcons.
No, Pittsburgh +1 earlier today. I may have sent it wrong. It's +1.
It's +1. So Falcons favored by 1.
I mean, that's at one point it's a pick 'em game. Give me my Steelers.
You're going to take the Steelers. Go Matt Canada. Bert.
I think we lost Bert.
Did we lose Bert?
We lost Bert.
Okay.
We lost. Look at his picture. Screenshot that. We need to end this and come back in. What is happening?
There he,
Oh,
there's the couch.
everything okay over there, Bert? Oh my. Whoa. Hey. Hey. Everything all right?
We lost him again.
We lost him again. He's busy with the microphone against his junk.
This is what this was all about.
Oh, this is going to be the greatest segment of the whole first episode right here. Waiting for Bert to figure out what's happening in his end. Here he comes. See if he.
You got it now?
back?
Yeah, my computer.
Turn the
decided to
microphone.
die.
You're a little hot.
Oh, sorry. How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound-
Sounds
I'm
like
surprised-
the microphone was riding on your balls for about 30 seconds. Wait
Yeah,
till you watch
I'm
the
surprised.
playback.
I'm surprised you're able to talk through the jizz on your microphone, man. Oh, we lost him again.
Oh. Oh
That's
my
what it's all about.
That is great. Congratulations, Bert. Wait, clown of the week, Bert Wall from episode 1. Let me make a note of that. Are we doing that? We're not doing that this week, right?
We're gonna do it if Bird will
We're
ever
rolling
get.
into 2 hours here.
We got some trim. We got a lot of trim space though.
Well, I know, but we could trim it down and save some of these segments for the next week. Here he goes. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, Windows update.
Right in the middle.
Thanks, Bill Gates.
Or just turn on. You know that it asks you if you want to do that.
It just decided in the background it was going to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Bert didn't have a choice, kind of like his microphone didn't have a choice to be violated. Wait till you go back and see the recording where it looks like you're dry humping your microphone.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah, well, Windows Update decided to do the Keith Hume version of consent and just said go for it.
So let's go. Steelers +1 against the Falcons. Jim, you said you wanted to go Steelers.
Yes, Steelers. Yep.
Bert,
I'll take that 1 point.
Falcons, that's fine.
you're going to go Falcons. I am also going to go Falcons. I'll lay the point.
The point.
Green Bay 4.5-point favorites over the Bears.
Give me the fighting Justin Fields.
Is either quarterback playing? Rodgers or Fields?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Give me the Bears. It's in Chicago. Give me the Bears. Give me the 4.5, and I'll take the Bears.
I'm going to take the Bears as well.
Fields is playing.
I think the Bears win this game outright. And then last but not least, Cleveland looks like they are 7-point favorites against the Texans in Texas with Deshaun Watson.
Tie.
Over under. How many of the accusers show up? I've heard that there's 10, right?
So let's set the over under at 10.5.
Well, I'm going to take the under on that because I don't think all 10 will show up.
There were more than 10 though. There's a whole bunch of them. Over under, how many times did they reference massages during the broadcast?
0 upon death by firing squad if they mention it.
So 7-point favorites, the Browns.
Give me the Browns because Deshaun's just going to run around like a madman.
I'll take the Browns. Well, it's the Texans are what they've won one game this year and they've tied another.
Yeah.
Okay. So last thing, before we get to closing is going to be clown of the week. Who is your clown of the week, Jim?
Well, I had somebody else wrote down, but I'm going to change it. My clown of the week is Burt Wall for updating his windows in the middle of our podcast and exposing his secret obsession.
It's not a secret.
With his microphone.
How do you say pedophile for microphones?
Microfile?
You would know. You pulled that out. You didn't even have to really think about it all that hard.
It was on the arrest warrant.
So, Burt Wall, clown of the week.
You know what? I got to give it to an oldie but a goodie, Antonio Brown. He's got another arrest warrant out for him this week out in Tampa.
Really?
Another altercation with a woman. He just can't stop himself. Needs mental help. I'm tired of seeing Antonio Brown on my feed.
Yeah.
My clown of the week, Joey Logano. No. My clown of the week is Ryan Day. Ryan Day takes what is the best team and loses to Michigan. He's got the best team in college football. He loses to Michigan. You put Urban Meyer with this team. We talked about the Heisman. The only reason CJ Stroud doesn't win the Heisman this year is because Marvin Harrison wins.
He's not going to win it.
He's not going to win it. I'm saying if Urban Meyer was the coach, the only reason Stroud doesn't win the Heisman is because Marvin Harrison.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Right.
When you take the best team with the best players and you lose games that you shouldn't lose, you're a clown. You're an absolute clown, and they should get rid of you.
One note on that. We talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State has the best skill position players in the country. That does not mean they have the best players in the country as a team. And it showed.
Well, it showed because Ryan Day got outcoached 5 times this year, and his team bailed him out, and they won games that with Urban Meyer they wouldn't have even been in. Maryland game, you think Maryland should have been in that game? No. Ryan Day got outcoached.
Maryland took Urban Meyer to a failed 2-point conversion from beating Urban Meyer.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Okay.
Because I was so mad that they didn't get that 2-point conversion because, as we all know, I hate Ohio State.
Right. Hey, whatever happened to Tua's brother was going to come
Tallulah?
was going to wreck the Big Ten.
I thought he was, and I was wrong.
He's going to wreck the Big Ten. Same
thought he was
said when he joined the Fantasy Football League. I'm going to wreck this league, or no, stampede this league.
Yes, he did say that. All right. Thanks, guys. So thanks for listening. Our next episode is going to drop on December 15th. Subscribe, share, leave a message. You can also go on anchor.fm/SSS-pod and leave a voice message. We'll play the best ones if we get any that are any good. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Facegram. I remember when they had Facegram.
You forgot CompuServe and MySpace, but okay.
On your face pages. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.